So I'm with Carolyn, who is one of the therapists who you benefit from this program.
Absolutely.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And tell us a bit about you and what you do, and I guess what music therapy means to you.
Great, thanks. I've been a music therapist for about 13 years. And music therapy has been my way of taking my various interests and the things I feel that I'm good at and being able to combine them. I've always been a musician, and I've always been very interested in people and wanting to figure out how I could translate my own relationship with music into a way of helping others through music.
Now, how do you see people benefiting? Like, give us some real life situations that you have said, wow, like this really does work.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many.
So many, I bet, right?
Yeah. I mean, essentially, I think what it mostly boils down to is that music is a relationship. It is kind of, it's an entity in and of itself. So when people have a relationship with music, it feeds them on a spiritual level, on an emotional level. And what I often see in my work is that it benefits them psychologically and physically as well. So when people are in, I think, moments of distress or difficulty in their life, that relationship can become a bit tenuous because they may not have the bandwidth available to create their own help or their own healing. And so that's where the music therapist can step in and can facilitate the relationship with the music to help people get to the goals that they want to achieve.
You know, I think about road trips that I've taken with my husband with no kids around, and we'll put on 90s on 9 or 80s on 8, and you get back to that music, for me, like when I was a teenager, and you're singing, and it really brings you back to a really good space in your life.
Yeah, it's a huge part of our identity.
Sure it is.
You know,
I can tell you where I was based on certain songs.
Exactly,
right?
It takes you right back. It's time travel, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that relationship is such a big part of our identity as who we are as people, how we grew up, how we imprinted, where we decided what our values were going to be, our memories, positive and negative, you know, all the things that make us human. So sometimes when we're in these distressing situations in life, whether they be you know, temporary or permanent, we really need those links back to who we are on our, you know, our internal landscape. We need those links strengthened, and that's what music therapy can do.
Now tell me about Vancouver General Hospital and burn patients. How are you working with them? Krista touched on it before as well, but give us your experiences there.
I meet people, I find out about them, I companion them through very difficult things. I'm in the room when they're being debrided, I'm in the room when they are having their dressings changed. I'm with them before they go into the operating room to help them stay calm and help them center.
How do you manage that? I mean, you're a therapist and you're involved in music, but it sounds like you have to have a huge talent to be strong and be like almost like a social worker type background too.
Yeah, a little bit for sure. I mean, certainly on day one, I didn't have the full skill set. And I think, you know, no matter how much orientation and training you get, there's nothing that quite replaces the lived experience of actually companioning someone through despair and terrible suffering.
Let's talk about somebody who would see you on a personal level. Why would I come and see you? I'm not in the burn unit, I'm not in an old folks home. Who am I? What kind of person is coming to see you?
Well, then of course this will vary from music therapist to music therapist based on their interests. My personal interest is the voice. So one of the things that I like to offer in my practice is an opportunity for people to engage with their voice in a way that is meaningful to them. So you could think of it as therapeutic voice work, therapeutic singing, that type of idea. I see a lot of people who have grown up potentially in families where they were not able to speak their truth safely, potentially abusive situations, addiction situations. I've worked with people who have really not been able to actually produce the sound they want to produce, and they think it's probably because of psychological reasons rather than any kind of physical reason. And so I work with them to sort of find out, like, what's going on in there? What are the barriers that keep you from using your voice the way you'd like to? Because our voice is so personal, and it's so important. It's how we represent ourselves in the world. It's how we quite literally speak our minds. So for people to feel like confident to use their voice, to know that it'll come to them when they need it, and also that they can sort out the difference between being assertive with your voice and being aggressive with your voice. You know, sometimes I work with people who have been the abuser in their life and they really want to stop that cycle, but they don't have the skills. They don't have the ability to regulate their nervous system. They don't have the communication skills.
I think of people that I know that who come across wrong on a regular basis, and truly they're wonderful people. They have no intention of being so gruff or aggressive, but that's just how they know to communicate.
And like any counselor, I think I tend to see people who have realized themselves, there's a pattern in my life that I don't like, but I don't know how to change it.
Amazing. Yeah. More information on Music Heals is on their website, certainly your website as well if you want to get in touch with Carolyn. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.